because apparently Donald Glover is a creative consultant for the Andrew Yang campaign, and Cody the Oracle had an interesting experience yesterday at the Popup event with Andrew himself. Cody, it's time to brag about your in the street, on the go, live coverage.
Not getting too far into
your
it.
gritty street coverage, dog.
My gritty street coverage. So yesterday, actually it was announced 2 days ago that Donald Glover would be doing a pop-up clothing event with Andrew Yang. Here's the article. It's actually been updated now. Officially, the campaign has announced that Donald Glover is being tapped as a creative consultant for the campaign. Now, again, what happened is they met at I'm not sure they met originally, but yesterday they were at a pop-up in downtown Los Angeles where supporters were able to purchase limited and signed editions of Yang 2020 merchandise designed by Glover's team, including sweatshirts, hats, and posters. The specialized merchandise embodies the core policies and values of Andrew Yang's Humanity First platform, and further future collaborations are expected. That's as far as it means, is what does the creative consultant mean. But as you said, I was there yesterday. So really quickly, what I'm going to do, I'll just play it in the background right now while I'm talking. I'm starting a video for you guys. This was the event yesterday, but this beginning part of it is just the line to get in. And this isn't even the full line. This is kind of incomplete version of the line to get in. And you'll notice that I'm really bad at counting people. The line went a full block down the street, and then it went about another half a block or a block to the left. And I mean, this is sped up footage, by the way, that I'm showing you guys right now. But anyway, so I was down in Fairfax yesterday, and the first takeaway I wanted to bring up from this, we were talking about the other day. The idea is people say Andrew Yang's an internet candidate, internet candidate. It's like, dude, how many people have to physically show up in less than 24 hours notice and stand in line for 5 hours before maybe he's not just the internet candidate? You know what I mean? Yeah. How many people have to wait in line? Again, like I said, this footage is basically in double speed that I'm showing you guys.
This is totally IRL, bro.
This is still the line that we're going through of people waiting to get in. And is there really people out there saying that these aren't going to be supporters? Like, these people, sure, I'll show up like 6 hours early. I mean, that's what I did. But sure, I'll show up and wait in line 4 hours to get in.
Yeah.
To buy limited edition marked up campaign merchandise because I won't vote for the candidate. Like, what is that, right? So that was the full line. I think right here now I'm going to have some footage of you guys of just there we go. So here's some footage from inside of the store. You guys can get a better idea of what it was like. So like I said, they were selling these sweaters right there and these hats. I actually grabbed one or two of them. I forgot to bring them with me today, but I was wearing the hat last night in the live stream. So I want to show you guys some of this stuff and just a little bit more of an idea of what it actually was like inside of the event.
Look at all those poor people wondering, can I afford this stuff? No.
Well, the funny thing was, of course, they don't announce any prices. People just walk in and figure out. Actually, right here, see if I can go back a little bit. If you can see these, whoops, sorry about that, guys. There's these blue sweaters right here. These blue sweaters right here are actually signed by Donald Glover and Andrew Yang, and we're selling for $1,000 each.
Wow.
Yeah. And then at one point, I have the video on this Twitter so you guys can see. When we were out there shopping, Andrew actually came out and said hi to us.
How you doing? So how you like the merch, man?
I love it.
Oh, right.
Cody's interview with Andrew's lapel
very
pin.
Talented team.
Yeah, no, my camera's on. That's why I really just wanted to highlight. Again, I'll try to post a better video. I hope I have better footage easier to see.
But it is.
Look at her, you're like, well.
Okay, and then one last question. It's important. So the black or the blue sweater, which one?
That's a good question. That's definitely a matter of taste. I probably would lean towards
Cody's going shopping with Andrew Yang.
You strike me as the blue guy.
Which should I get?
So yeah, so he did. But again, the bigger thing I wanted to show here was just that it was a really cool event that Andrew Yang actually came out and just not only was he just standing in the back waving, he did come out and interact with us. You can see right there, people post pictures hanging out with him as well. Couple things I wanted to shout out too is the people, that guy right there, what you saw in the video, everyone that was in with me. I got there at 8 a.m. to start waiting in line. And here's just some more photos I took from the event, stuff that was going on. There was one dude, I think his name was Victor. I apologize for my old names. Got there at 6 a.m., I believe. Someone else that got there at 7. So we waited there until about noon. Here's some stuff.
That's cool.
A little funny story. So when I got there at about
Andrew Yang's got a unibrow. I'm down.
When I got there at about 8 a.m., this artwork was up, right?
That's
about
cool.
An hour later, they moved us. And when they moved us, right when they moved us, I guess the guy who owned the building had sent his dude out to come paint over it. So we were like, they moved us to stand in line, and we're standing in line, and we turn around, and the guy's just painting over the Andrew Yang stencil.
Oh no!
Yeah, so that was kind of funny. And then I believe it's
It didn't even last a day.
Yeah. No. Well, hold on. I'll show you the guys behind it. I believe it's the some of the local Yang street artists. They came back a little while later and put it back up. I just thought it was funny how as soon as we walk over, they did it. Like I said, again, a lot of big media was there. By the way, shout out to this dude. He got there really early and hung out with us all day as well. Again, I can't remember anyone's name, but local Fox was here. We were being spoken to by a woman who was a Jezebel reporter who got there. Again, shout out Jezebel reporter. She got there at like 9 a.m. She was one of the earliest people there. TMZ, big media was there. Donald Glover was at the event. I don't think Donald Glover was actually there when I went in, or I couldn't see him when I went in at least. Maybe
All right,
he was in the back
rock
or
on.
something. But I got a picture of him leaving, so that was it. Donald Glover left. That was the end of the event. But it seems to be like, what is the lasting pull of it? One, I'll just play this video in the background again. The video of me walking the length of the line. Which, by the way, this is like where the line's second. This is like probably 70% of the line that's playing right now in the background. So this many people show up. Big takeaway. And then also the idea of Donald Glover and Andrew Yang having some staying power. Again, asking what it functionally means to be a creative consultant, I think it means that Andrew Yang every few months gets to sell marked up merch with Donald Glover's logo on it. Which, hey, if it all goes to the campaign, good for him, man. It's a really smart idea. Because if people who don't know where this took place on Fairfax, there's people walking up to us and saying, oh, is this the line for the Supreme thing today? Like, no, the Supreme line down. There was probably 4 lines. The only reason why I want to bring it up is that this
Only
is...
in LA do you have to choose between the Donald Glover and Yang event and the Supremes. Only in Los Angeles.
The larger point is the part of town this took place is where they do these big limited edition clothing pop-up. It's where all the cool streetwear stores are. So it isn't totally out of the realm. Like, a lot of people knew what they were showing up to. Like, there's a lot of people showing up at 7, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. because they knew what these kind of things are like. But again, I just want to kind of give you guys an idea that...
By the way, how disappointing...
A lot of the major media focused on Andrew Yang in the store with Donald Glover, which is a big story, but people overlooked. The amount of people that showed up for this was legitimately... It was more than I expected. Because the thing that blew my mind was I got... about 11 o'clock, I was looking around and I'm like, it's not that crazy busy in here as far as the lines. And then I noticed, like, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, people still showing up and waiting in line. By the way, Andrew left at about 12:40. People still waited in line for hours knowing Andrew had left. Donald Glover left. People still waited in lines hour. I mean, it was really something people wanted to be a part of, and it's just, again, I refuse to believe that 70, 80% of these people aren't also voting for Andrew Yang, aren't going to show up and cast a ballot, right? Like, it's just weird to me, this notion that there isn't that much support for Andrew Yang, when a woman drove her car up to me when I was standing on the corner and said, why are all these people here? And I'm like, oh, a presidential candidate's doing like a limited edition clothing event. So people here to buy him. She's like, really? And laughed and drove off. Like, well, I was just thinking, absurd to think of the fact that this is what like a clothing event for president candidate draws out this many people. That's all I wanted to say. Just, it is unique to draw this many people to this kind of thing, I would say.
I think it's pretty disappointing for the math hat person that accidentally waited in the Supremes line, gets to the front and realizes Andrew Yang nor Donald Glover are there. But holy smoke, I'm watching the Supremes. No, and I feel bad for the person that was waiting in line for the Supremes.
I'm trying to save you right now, Carden. Supreme is a clothing brand, not the Supremes.
Oh, not the Supremes?
No.
Ah!
Supreme is actually Supreme's larger than a clothing brand now. Supreme sells like...
I was like, man, they've been going for a long time if the Supremes are still recording, man.
Supreme is the brand.
It's like the Temptations. They keep going.
They famously sold like the $70 official Supreme brick. Like there's like Supreme Nike, probably Supreme Peloton somewhere.
See, I didn't hear you right.
It's a big clothing streetwear brand. All the big clothing streetwear brands are right there. So again, the only reason why I said that is because it isn't the craziest thing ever that a bunch of people showed up to the place you go to buy hip clothes. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you go to do that. Still though, it really stood out to me, the just absolute size of the crowds.
And our buddy Michael Kim's right there, right in the middle.
I'll flip it over. Shout out to Michael Kim, my friend right there. If you ever see any of these Yang for Us stickers or Yang for Us anything, that's our good friend Michael right there. So shout outs to him, man. But yeah, it was just a really cool event. A lot of people came out there because it was the debate. A lot of people are in town from out of town for the debates to talk about this. So I don't know, man. It was a really good event, and like I said, the staying power. What is the actual staying power of this? Well, it appears Donald Glover is going to be working on some official capacity as creative consultant for the Andrew Yang campaign. That's the lasting impact. And again, don't believe all the polls. Don't believe that Andrew Yang is just the internet candidate. I don't know what internet candidate gets that many people outside on that short notice. Again, to wait in line to give him money when he isn't there, which is what happened. Crazy stuff.
So what's the moral of the story, Cody? The moral of the story is that if you follow us on Twitter at PSP Radio 1, you will be first to see all of the nitty gritty, grimy street coverage of Cody the Oracle, who's out there in the thick of it, in the Yang thick of it. You'll see it first if you follow us on Twitter, so make sure that you follow us at PSP Radio 1. Always make sure that you can, hopefully, if you got time, like and share and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your friends. Call us on the phone if you want to leave us a voicemail. Anything Yang, we'll talk it with you. That's 1-833-PSP Radio. Other than that, this has been awesome. This is Problem Solver Politics. We will see you in the next video.